Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another coffee talk. For those of you who are not familiar with coffee talks, it's a series I have on this channel where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee. I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week, and this week is no exception. I recently saw a post on Instagram and it said something along the lines of 2023 should be renamed the year where everything I thought couldn't happen happened. And I couldn't relate more. But obviously, and as always, this is not the topic of today's coffee talk. Well, it's a little related, but today we are talking about breaks and how we all need a break. As this video is posted, it is this weird time between Christmas and the New Year where you're eating, you're reading, you're laughing, you're watching a lot of movies, you're going on walks, you're doing pretty much whatever things you don't have the time to do normally. And this is just so great. But it has made me ask myself a few questions. Because in the past weeks, pretty much for the whole month of December, I was looking forward so much to the holidays, not only for the holidays themselves and for spending time with my family and eating good food and just Christmas in particular, but I was looking forward to have this time to just do nothing. And there are so many times when I caught myself thinking or even saying out loud, oh, I'll just wait for Christmas to sleep, or I'll just wait for Christmas to relax, or I'll just wait for Christmas to do XYZ. That meant that I had to wait to give myself a break. And I don't know why we do that. And it's a bummer because I know I'm not the only one who does that. There are so many people around me who wait for this moment between Christmas and a New Year to just do so many things that they normally wouldn't have the time to do because one, they either don't have the energy for it or they literally do not have the time to do it, or they don't allow themselves to take the time to do it. And personally, now more than ever, I need a break. And it's something that can be pretty hard to admit because I feel like we plan our schedules around the time when it will be convenient to need a break and to take some time off, when in reality, we should just take it whenever we need it. But we live in this society where we need to be productive, where we need to be on the top of our game every single time. We need to deliver, we need to respect deadlines and so on and so forth, that it makes us feel bad to admit that one, we need to take a break, we need time to rest, and two, actually taking it, you know? And what happens is we push ourselves so hard that we burn ourselves out. And this is precisely what happened to me in 2022. Back in 2022, I was this close to being burnt out. Luckily, my practitioner, my family practitioner, how do you call this? A doctor? Yeah, a doctor, that's what she is. Anyway, she put me on sick leave because honestly, I needed to rest. My body couldn't keep up with my life anymore. My mind couldn't keep up with my life. I was literally shutting down. Like, my whole metabolism was shutting down. But I had to ask myself, how the hell did I end up here? How the hell do people in general end up in those kind of situations? And it all comes back to what I just said about living in this high performance, fast-paced society where we need to just focus on working hard. Sadly, this is where we lose ourselves. This is where we drain ourselves out of all our creativity, of all our energy, because we're just so focused on performing, for a lack of a better word. And yes, I do sound repetitive, but it is what it is. I'm here saying all that, but in all transparency, part of me feels guilty almost and ashamed to be taking this time to just do nothing and to relax, because part of me really wants to be productive, and I do want to start the new year. I want to start 2024 on solid bases, on solid grounds and foundations. But in order to do that, I need to give myself this time to really ground myself and to think and to relax and to start just renewed. Yeah, or rested. That's the word I was looking for. But unfortunately, we only allow ourselves to do that sometimes, maybe once or twice a year, which when you think about it, there's 365 days in a year. And oddly enough, most of us allow ourselves maybe 14 or 21 days, or if you're lucky, 28 days to rest. And it's not resting per se, because we usually fill those 21, 28 days with activities that we normally wouldn't have the time to do because we're too busy working. And so we need to take some time off, not to rest, but to escape our reality and to enjoy our life. Wow, this saying it out loud sounds so freaking ridiculous. Honestly, what are we doing? What is this? And obviously, I get that it's easier said than done because we have responsibilities as adults. And for all the people who work 9 to 5, which I kind of include myself in there, but not entirely, because I have the privilege of making my own schedule and having a little bit more flexibility. Can't talk. Flexibility. I have more flexibility when it comes to making my schedule, and if I do need to take some time to rest, I give myself the time as much as I can, obviously. But not everyone has this privilege, and actually most people depend on bosses and they depend on their job to live and to survive, and sadly that implies that they are only allowed a few days a year to rest, which again sounds ridiculous, and it kind of blows my mind that we work that way, and that we just like agreed as a whole to give ourselves only 14, 21, or 28 days a year to escape, to rest, to take some vacation. And obviously right now I'm talking about like taking some time off of work, but honestly, taking a break can take so many forms. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a mental break. If you're engaged in a conversation, for example, and you need a break from that conversation, you should feel comfortable to say it. And if you're working on a task and it's making you more frustrated than satisfied, you should be able to take a break from it. It's taking a break, like generally speaking, but you should allow yourself to just sometimes take a step back, reevaluate, and then come back to the task or to your daily life or to work in a better place mentally, physically. And I get that me sitting here today and talking about it most likely will not change anything at all. And obviously, for every single thing I say in these coffee talks, it's easier said than done. But this is the essence of those coffee talks. It's just me sharing my thoughts and opinions. But it just so happens that this week I need a break. As I've briefly mentioned, I do feel guilty because I hold myself accountable to a lot of the things I say and that I want to achieve. So whenever I don't do anything actively towards those goals, I feel ashamed and I feel guilty that I'm saying all those things, but that for that day in particular, I'm not taking any concrete actions. But as I said, sometimes it's okay to just recollect yourself in order to start stronger and come back just better and have more solid foundations on which you can ground yourself and you can on what you can hold on to, pretty much. Did that make sense? Possibly not. My point is just to tell you that it's normal and it's valid to feel guilty about not being so proactive all the time. But it's okay. Honestly, it's okay. Give yourself a break. Give yourself the time that you need to just restore yourself, to rest and to recollect and to come back stronger. You need that time because you can't just always be so strong all the time, and you can't just be so creative and productive. There are ups and downs, just in like every single thing. You can't always be on the top of your game. And this is usually what we tend to put forward about ourselves. This is where we tend to brag because it gives us this sense of accomplishment. And speaking for myself, this is what I do. When people ask me how things are, I usually tend to go towards what I've accomplished and what I do well and what's going great. And on the opposite, when things are going slower and I don't feel as creative and I don't feel as productive, I kind of feel bad about it, and I tend to just brush it off and move on to a next topic because I don't feel proud about myself because I feel like I'm not hustling as much as I would want to. But it's so normal. Why do we do this to ourselves? Because think about it. You wouldn't expect anyone to be perfect and to be good at everything that they do all the time and to always be so out there, you know? So why do we expect that from ourselves? It's just not realistic at all. Anyway, I'm getting lost in the sauce here, so if I could just sum it all up, I'd say that you need a break. Give it to yourself. Give yourself some time to just rest and do nothing and think and read or just watch a series or watch a movie. Put your brain switch to off if you need to. But take this time and just chill out, dude. Chill out. And on that weird note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting me. Is that what I said? It sounded weird. Anyway, thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. Hopefully I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. And I'm going to apologize for this very chaotic coffee talk, but I'm going to wish you bonne journée.